Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about a case that I did using what we call light dentistry. It's a combination of Invisalign and acrylic veneers, and we did it, we finished it just today actually. It was a long appointment and I'm really excited. I want to share that with you, how I did it, some things that I learned, and why I would recommend you consider this for you yourself if you want it as a patient, or if you're a dentist, is something that you might want to learn all about. So let's get started. So the patient presented, and he had actually been with our hygienist in a routine examination appointment where he had his cleaning and he had his exam with me. We had done a digital scan of his mouth and found that there were some very damaging things that were happening to his teeth. His upper front teeth were getting fracture lines in them. He was getting a lot of wear. He was already missing a few teeth, and now there was like a collapsing in of all the other teeth, and that wasn't getting any better. It was getting worse, just like all good things do. And so we had the discussion with him. We're like, have you ever considered Invisalign? Have you ever considered moving these teeth back to where they should be for a better bite, a nicer, broader smile, and just save your enamel, save your teeth long term? And he really was really open to it. I mean, if we suggest that to you, certainly just so that we know that you know that what's happening in your mouth. The iTero element that we use is able to show people kind of different things that are happening, that the bite is too heavy in certain areas, or that there's fracturing of the enamel and things like that. So it's a great tool to give my patient a very clear, concise idea of what the problems are. The solutions, of course, in his case was to have the teeth aligned, expand the smile, upright the teeth again, and then we would look at what damage was done so that we could restore that in a way that we knew was going to last. If I just restore chipped teeth when they're in like a very overclosed or bad bite, then I end up doing these repairs over and over. So if you've ever had like fillings on your front teeth, or sort of like what we call bonding or direct veneers, these things start to chip over and over because often the way the teeth are colliding on the lower teeth are colliding with the upper teeth is too heavy. So by doing the alignment first and setting it up for like a good foundation, I was able to give him back tooth material that he had lost from the wear and tear with the bad bite. So he actually accepted the treatment. I was super excited. At the time, I wasn't going through DSD always at first. So sometimes now, or often now, I'll do a digital smile design mock-up or test drive for the patient before I start. Then we'll jump into the Invisalign, knowing where we need to go. In his case, I had actually done it the other way. I knew I needed to do some bonding, but I actually did not do the DSD mock-up at first. So if you're not a digital smile design provider, or your dentist doesn't do that, you may, it doesn't mean you can't have this. So we aligned the teeth. I knew where I needed to go. I wanted to upright the molars. I wanted to make space. I wanted to give him a broader smile. Now when I did that, because he was so collapsed, he ended up with some spaces, and I'd actually done that on purpose. I want teeth to, when I'm doing the bonding after, I want to have room for my fillings. If I have room for my fillings, then I don't need to worry so much about things breaking, because I'm going to have a certain thickness of my filling material, and that's going to allow us to really have stronger restorations or stronger fillings. Whether we're doing that with what we call acrylic veneers, which some people call bonding or direct filling material, or real veneers with porcelain, it doesn't matter. Every dentist wants lots of thickness so that they have a stronger restoration. So we aligned the teeth. We actually, another thing that we did, just as a side note, I did another video on this earlier. We use what's called Propel. Now Propel is this system, and it explains it more in one of my other YouTube videos, where we are able to take someone who's a mature adult and really accelerate the movement. A lot of my adult patients, they don't want to be in Invisalign forever, and his case was very difficult, so I knew he was going to be there a long time. So I said, you know what, let's use Propel. Propel, again, allowed us to accelerate the speed. It was in his aligners. He wasn't even in aligners, I think, a year. I'm going to double check that, but I'll leave it in the notes below. But he was in and out of Invisalign in a very short period. Now, he's a very compliant patient, so that helped. once we were done the Invisalign, I said, okay, now we have to design his smile. We cannot just like randomly start building fillings everywhere or making his smile. And so I had taken the proper digital smile design records, very simple, just a simple video with some basic photos, and we actually sent that to the planning center in Madrid and designed a smile that suited his face. The next thing, of course, was he got to test drive it. He came in, and although he kind of knew what was going to happen, but he didn't really. So we actually put the mock-up in his mouth and let him have a little interview and some photos with his future smile that I was going to do with it, like I said, the acrylic veneers or the real veneers in his mouth. He was blown away, and we were blown away. Like, it was so amazing, and I really wanted you to see that because it's just so dramatic. We know now all of a sudden where we're really going to go, what the end point is. So I knew that I had made enough room with my Invisalign. I was really happy about that I had taken the time to create enough space for my restorations. I had a good bite, and I was over the moon because I knew I could do this. So he accepted treatment, and then came, of course, the performing of the acrylic veneers because that was what he chose to do. And that's something that I actually make chairside, but I make it using a digital smile design template. And so we do the design digitally. We print a 3D model with the ideal design, upper and lower in his case. And that was the thing about him, is we were doing both top and bottom teeth, all the teeth, pretty much right to the back. So, I mean, don't do that. I don't do those every day, but I have done them before, and they're just so rewarding because you completely change someone's smile, someone's, everything about how they function in one visit. So, yeah, so we did that. We brought him in, and again, we just did this earlier today, and we took each template, each digital smile design template, and we put it over the teeth, and we injection molded, if you want to think about it that way, each tooth. So I knew exactly the shape of the tooth. Each tooth turned out perfectly with the right anatomy, the right length, the right color. It was like, oh my gosh, we're so excited. So we really did each tooth. We've documented all the way just so we could show you. But it turned out beautifully, and his eyes just popped. I mean, he kind of knew what he was getting because he did the mock-up, the test drive, but this was just over the moon. And everybody, my whole team, when they walk in the room after he, get part of it done or at the end, was just like, oh, like just crazy. Like, nobody could believe this. So very dramatic results in one visit after Invisalign. Call it light dentistry. It's something that you can certainly ask for, but it just changed my world. I know now I can do, I've done other cases too, but today's case was just so amazing and one of my favorite probably of all time. So I wanted to share that with you, and I would love to hear what you think of that, and if you've done anything like that, or if you want to know more information, because it's just, again, it's affordable. It's a little bit more affordable than porcelain veneers. But at the same time, remember, it's important to have the bite right and have everything kind of properly aligned before we start. So my ability to be able to do both Invisalign and the restorative after is what, again, sort of allows me to do cosmetic dentistry in a way that I know your restorations and your fillings are going to last. So I hope that was interesting. It was certainly exciting for me and my team. Like we just, again, it was just a great day at the office, and these are the things that we do here at Peggy Brown Dentistry. If you would like to learn more about it, leave me a question or comment below. And also, if you'd like to have a virtual consult to see if you're a good candidate, then you can certainly do that as well. It's on my website, smilesbybound.com. And I just wanted to share that, and I hope it was helpful. So I look forward to seeing you next time, and take care.